and get straight to business. So today's Tuesday, July 30th. I am going to share my screen here. Let me just make sure. Alrighty. Okay. Kenny and Elias are out in Vegas. And so me and Karina are just going to hold the fort down while they are gone. And you know me, I'm not doing the back and forth. So we are going to leave these slides up. All right, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks everybody for joining. We are going to go ahead and get it started with any introductions. Anybody new, invited, guest here of somebody on our team? Feel free to take the mic and unmute yourself if you have a guest on the line today. Do we have any guests? Nope. All righty, moving right along. Community contributions. I know, and I've seen quite a few event requests or quite a few things on our calendar. Would anybody like to share any upcoming events, anything happening in your communities? Summer's not over yet, but we know these kids are back to school. I know mine are. But anybody have anything happening in their neck of the woods they want to share or put the team on about? It was a quiet bunch. Why I feel like a Monday? Okay, well, we will be moving right along. All right. We'll go ahead and get into escrows this week. We are starting with buyer represented deals. So please, if you don't see your name on here, don't worry. We are going to get to sellers afterwards. As another reminder, make sure that you get your deals entered into the sales tracker by 5 p.m. on Monday so that they are featured in that week's meeting. If submitted in the evening or whatever, no worries. We got you. You'll be featured on the next meeting. So just want to put the disclaimer out there and we will jump right into it. So on the board, we have Pam and Michael with the deal out in Stockton for $294. Sam with the deal in Concord for $400. Did I see Sam on here earlier? I thought I saw Sam. Sam, would you like to tell us a little bit about this deal?
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. So
Morning.
this is an exciting one because it's my first NACA transaction.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, so the buyers are happy. It's been a long journey with them, because NACA is really strict and lots of documents we need to submit upfront, but they made it and we're in contract.
Wow. Awesome. So do you have are you finding that the NACA program and the clients, are they just like any other client, or is it a little bit harder having to navigate through their requirements?
No, I mean, mostly everything is common things they ask for, but it's just the steps they have to go through. So that's the only thing, but it's just matter of spreading the word, explain them about NACA program because this is actually a really good program. And I'm sad that not many people know about it, but overall, we're gonna see great results within the team with the help of Pamela and Michael. So I'm grateful for them. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I know Pam and Michael helped to spearhead it, and I know that they've had really successful turnouts.
Hmm.
And so for anybody that is on the call, if you're like, I have no idea what that is, I'm gonna send you to Pam or Michael for more information about it, what it is, because you might have clients that could benefit from it. I'm always like diversify your stream of leads or referrals, clients, whatever. So tap in with them to learn more. But again, congrats to these guys on the board for getting into contracts. Okay, moving right along. We also have Janice and Sierra and Kuhn on the board with the Flex deal out in Richmond. Do I have any of these three folks with us? I know my support is helping me skim the screen. None? Okay. So when you see these guys, just give them a shout out, but congrats to these guys for getting their clients into contracts. All right, moving right along. Nick and Coon again on the board with the deal out across the bay in San Francisco. Coon's not on, Nick? Okay, sweet. Congrats, guys. Keep it moving. We have Ophelia on the board with the deal out in Sassoon for 540. Sasha with the deal out in Stockton for 540, and Liz with the flex deal out in Fremont for 568. I know I saw Ophelia on the call and I saw her at the cookout. Ophelia, would you like
Hi.
to, hey, do you want to give us a little
Yeah,
background on your client in this deal?
sure. So this is actually an open house lead. I was hosting my own open house. So I have the seller and I brought in the buyer. So I managed to do both sides right now. So it's been interesting. I've been pretty as transparent as you can possibly be because it's a very,
Right.
um, very, you got to be very careful in this kind of situation. So we did have a very good competitive offer, and it turns out that they have been wanting this property from the first time it went on the market, which was 2 years ago. And unfortunately, this property, the sellers are separating. So that's why it was less than 2 years. We had to strategically put this on the market correctly. And it's not easy when, there's a separation going on. So when the neighbors saw that the property was going up, they're like, my mom's been wanting this property since like the first time around. So good coaching, sending all the comparables. She's in Monterey. So it's been interesting. So a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of text and a lot of transparency going on, but we should be closing in about 2 weeks. It's a pretty good, they were a unicorn buyer too, by the
Oh,
way. I mean, they had great credit, great down payment. They had all of their paperwork. They did everything we asked them to do. It's just like, thank you, Jesus. When those happen, when it starts, like you're just like, thank you. After
right.
so many escrows, thank you.
Right. To be right. Are you like the house that you're talking about? Is it newly renovated? It sounds like a hot house, or is inventory low in Sassoon? So everybody's trying to get in where they fit in, or like,
Yeah, it's believe it or not, 500,000 is like first time home buyer. Like you're just getting in, you're getting your foot and you're barely just getting in. So the house it could have gone for 550, 560, but it did need some work.
gotcha.
So I priced it at 539.99, and we did get multiple offers, but they were just like I said, higher down payment, great conventional offer and great FICO scores. It was just like it just happened to work that way. But yeah, and there's still low inventory on this area too.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, congrats to you and your clients. And we are going to move right along. Next up, we have Peter and Coon. Coon's a busy man. So with the deal out in Oakland, I don't know if Peter's on the line. Coon's not here. All right. So when you see these fellas, give them a shout out. Congrats to you and your client. Cyrus and Sunny with the deal out in Hayward. Are either of these fellas on the line? Oh, y'all just making my job too easy. All right, moving right along. Let's see, who do we have? We got Kenny and Brittany with a deal out in Pinole for 675. And we have Mark and David across the bay in Daly City with 685. Any of these? Look, I already know where Kenny's at. Okay, sweet. Moving right along. Next, we got King on the board with a deal in Oakland for 700, Vanessa out in Manteca for 720, and Otis out in Vallejo for 740. Or
Otis
any of
is
these
here.
superstars. Otis, congrats to you and your clients. Do you want to talk about this deal out in the Valley, Joe?
Yeah, this one is a very unique one. These buyers came to me like piggybacking off of a showing, and they were like, "Hey, we don't want to bother, but we were just driving around looking at houses and we want to see this house. Is it okay if we just come in?" And I know a lot of people usually be like, "No," but I'm always cool because you never know. Like, thoughts are like, "Oh, maybe I could see, ask dad, have an agent." So like the first 2 minutes we start talking, she starts getting emotional because she was like, "We have to sell this house to get this house here. Do you think that's something that we could do?" Like, sorry to get emotional, but our mom passed away a year ago, and it's been really hard. And we finally came to that conclusion that we didn't want to leave our father alone, even though we were going to try to do it ourselves. So I instantly was like, "Oh wow, 2 and 1." So I said, yeah, we can do this. So I was like, we just have to strategically plan it. And, you know, I've done some sales on contingent of the selling of a home before, actually twice. And one was a personal family deal. So, you know, obviously I had to really make sure I knew what I was doing and didn't want to let down not only client, but family. So locked them in, got the listing. And then a week later after that, the older sister found out that they were selling mom's house and didn't want to do that. So now the sister and wants to buy the mom's house and sell her house. So one deal possibly just sprouted into four. So I know we're gonna see my name on here a couple more times, but you never know. Don't ever turn somebody away, even though you're trying to rush. If it's the like 6th house and 7 trying to get to the next, like just be nice. You never know. You might have a unicorn buyer like Ophelia just said. So in this case, I had a unicorn family.
Right?
So very thankful.
Awesome. Well, congrats to you and your clients for that. And yes, we'll look forward for your name here shortly. All right. We will keep moving along. Next up, we have Bowie on the board with the deal for 760 out in Oakland. And then Mateen and Liz. So this is Mateen's first deal with the team. And Liz out in Rockland for 825. Did I see Liz on the call? No. Okay. All right. Well, kudos to those guys for getting into contracts, and we will keep it moving. All right. Miss Aaliyah with the deal for 880 in Oakland, and Mel on the board with the deal for 965 as well in Oakland. Are either of these two ladies on the call? Oh, all right. Let's keep it moving. All right, Tim, is Tim on the call? This is Tim's first deal. I remember when Tim came to the team. So congrats, Tim. This is his first deal with the team for 1695 in San Francisco. All right, we will keep it moving. All right, seller represented deals. We have Cynthia and Hector with the deal for 47,000 out at Bethel Island. Are either of these two superstars on?
Yes, you.
Cynthia's here. Cynthia.
Hello. Yeah, this one
Hello.
was hi. So on this one, we really had to coach the seller about days on market. It's Bethel Island. So most of the mobile homes out there sell within 70 days. So we're right at that target for him. But the seller was just getting a little antsy, asking, what can you guys do? What can you guys do? And I am so grateful to have Hector as a partner agent on this one, because he came up with ideas that I wouldn't have thought of. So if you guys need help for mobile home representation out in that area and don't really know what you're doing out there, hit up Hector, because he knows what's up out there.
Sweet. All right. Well, congrats to you and your client. Thank you for that. We are going to keep moving right along. So we have Pam on the board again with the deal in Oakland for 460, and Roxanne with her listing out in Richmond that sold for 490. Pam, I know I saw you come in. Would you like to tell us about this deal or your clients?
Okay. So
Sorry,
this
you know I had to put you on the spot.
oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So the house is a fixer and it was targeted more to cash buyers, but all the cash buyers were wholesalers, disguised as a cash buyer. So we waited until we actually got an FHA buyer. So we have an FHA buyer, but something they did was I feel very unique is they have a clause in their contract that says, or an addendum saying, if there's anything that FHA appraiser requires to be done, the buyer is going to incur that cost. So for the seller, they won't feel weird taking on a FHA buyer and having some costs coming up towards the end. So, I mean, pretty much they were very clean. And I just like that idea of how they slipped in the door as a FHA when everybody else thinks only cash is going to be the particular buyer for this particular property.
Gotcha. Oh, all right. Well, congrats to you and your client. Thank you for sharing. Oops, let me see. We are going to keep it moving. Otis and Ina on the board with their deal out in San Pablo. I know Otis is driving. Is Ina on the line? No. Oh, did you want to talk about this real quick about your listing out in San Pablo?
Sure. Ina is like a breath of air for me. She's like my own little like oracle in a sense. Like I always come to her. She's always like just ready to pour into me. We've partnered on like so many deals. So like we had just closed one, and I'm so solid. Like I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, thank you for the deal, and not reciprocate it. I reciprocated it right back multiple times, but we just couldn't get nobody in contract. So these two listings, I knew I needed her because this is all part of 4 deals. The first part of the deal is with the brother-in-law and who came out of left field, where we were already in contract on the home in Vallejo. And to be honest with you guys, they've been making it so complex from the very gate. I don't even know if I'm gonna still be able to pull it off. I know it's in me to still do it, but it's literally not on me, it's on them. And they turned every corner from being late a week signing the listing agreement, which is very key because what we didn't know is the very next day they didn't sign, a listing went up at $499 when the comp 6 weeks ago was $615. So we thought we were going to net in our cash offer between $520 and $560, but we've been getting lowballed $430. Open Door didn't even give us one, so it's put a lot of halt on everything. We have to have a call later, but I know that a great mind with her and them having some understanding that we're going to figure this all out. So doing a sale contingent on a home is hard. Doing 3 homes basically on one home, so it's like
Right.
it's a lot of moving parts. I'm beyond stressed out, but I mean, this is what we asked for. This is what we're in the game for. So I'm trying to pull out this ultimate hat trick. But I mean, at the end of the day, I can't stress enough on how partners aren't so privileged, and just being in this team and environment where people highly focus on that.
Yeah.
And then just being on this call too, like Pam, I've done so many deals, and I could have done so many deals had I known that little part on what you just said. So this is what you should be here for, not only for the seeing people on the board, but hearing their expertise on how we're able to manage them, getting on here multiple times or just getting on here, because there's a lot of moving parts to deals once you start really working on these. So very thankful for Ina. She's really great. So just trying to figure out how we can still put all this stuff together.
Awesome. Well, congrats to you and her, and again to the family that you're helping out. So yes, we'll be sure to shout out Ina when we see her. But again, congrats to you and your clients. Okay, keeping it moving. Peter and Dewey on the board with the deal in San Leandro for 580. King on the board again for 725. I don't think Dewey is Dewey on? No. All right. So when you see these fellas, shout out, congratulations for making the board. Moving along, George. I know I saw George with the deal in Hayward for 1-1. George, you want to tell us about this listing you have?
Yeah. Hey everyone. So this one actually came in through Instagram online. It was actually a referral from a lender. I'm sure you guys know Neil Holmes, his brother Arjun. He actually reached out to me on Instagram and then was like, hey, I have an agent that's in Arizona. They're looking for a referral in Hayward. Are you interested? So I reached out, connected with the agent. It turned out to be his girlfriend's grandma. Basically, it's 2 houses, 1 lot, never been sold before. So it was a gold mine. We pretty much talked to them, looked at their timeline. Their timeline was pretty fast. Basically, they wanted grandma, who was living up here in the Bay by herself, to move to Arizona with them since she's in her 70s and was having to drive herself to the emergency room at times. So we signed it in April. It was 2 houses, 1 lot. 1 unit had tenants, so it was kind of a little difficult trying to get in touch with the tenants through the property manager. We ended up finding out that the property manager was the one that was basically the slumlord, charging them, saying, hey, this is what the tenants our house needs fixed. Wasn't really doing it. So we kind of had to get strategic and kind of do a workaround, and then actually got in touch with the tenants. Super nice. And we ended up selling it off market. So we talked to them, hey, are you cool if we prep it for market, but are you open to doing off market opportunities? So we took a Google Drive video of the entire property on my iPhone, put it in a Google Drive, sent it out to a bunch of people. We procured about 5 offers off market, and we were going to list it at $950 and ended up in contract. What is that, like $60,000 above what we were going to do? A neighbor ended up buying it, and we actually closed yesterday. So that's super exciting. But I definitely say network, door knocking and cold calling. Yeah, they work, but also network and go to all of these networking events because you never know who you're going to meet. I mean, I met Arjun by going to a Ryan Serhan event that Elias and Kenny told me about like almost 2 years ago. Met him there, just vibed with him really well. So, and just posted constantly on social media about like Hayward and all of my property tours. So he said that's why he reached out to me, just seeing me everywhere and knew that I lived in Hayward at one point. So
Kudos. Awesome to you and your clients. Yeah, I think it's and it's funny that you mentioned that because I had to do a deck for Kenny, and one of my taglines that I like doing, especially when he's talking about branding or social media, is the networking aspect about being seen and being heard. So social media, cold calls, door knocking, that's one aspect of it, right? But actually networking or going to professional events, seminars, workshops, be it local or out of state, nurturing those relationships. Like we talk about relationships with clients, but it's also healthy to nurture relationships with those that possibly could be bringing you clients or you submitting behalf on yours. So yeah, you never know, but glad for you on this deal, George. All right, moving right along. Let's see, who do we have? Okay, cool. It's like, oh, like this part because I know we wrapping it up, right? We got things to do. All right, so on the board, I don't know if you guys saw Kenny's post, but we have 101 deals pending escrow, and we are at 100 listings. Last week was great. We had 27 new escrows on the board, bringing in 17.5 for volume. So like Elias always says, take a picture of this, share it. But you guys should be proud. Like your hard work, I know it was just like a slow start to the year, but momentum has picked up. I'm just praying that it just continues this way. But our team, the energy, the momentum that we have right now is in a positive direction. So I just want to keep that moving forward. But you guys should give yourselves a pat on the back. You are out there hustling. All your hard work is starting to pay off. And some of you guys are starting to reap what you sow and on the benefits. So congratulations to all of you guys for your hard work. We are going to keep it moving to what I like to let you guys know about what's coming up. What do we have on the board for the team? What's out there? So this week, August 1st, Leo season, it's my birthday. Is buyer representation training with Karina and Elias on Thursday. So tap in. Does not start this week, so I'm glad that I'm looking at this because I should have edited that out. So don't worry, I will fix that. But buyer training this week, again, if you haven't caught any of the sessions live, it's great to do so. If not, or whatever, understand life happens. There are the recorded videos in Fast Class that you can access. Coming up after that, we have our lovely, my fellow Leo, Cynthia, who's going to be hosting some agency efficiency classes in a few of our offices. So the kickoff for this is going to be in Fairfield, in their main building on Thursday, August 8th. She's going to be bringing it to a synergy session in Brentwood. And then she's also going to wrap up this series in Oakland. These are great to go to, especially if you're a new agent or if you're an agent that's just trying to like do some spring cleaning, maybe check your systems, your organizations. Tap in. I'm going to let Cynthia talk a little bit more about it, but I highly encourage you guys to attend this session.
do you have the link? Do you have the link for that? Because I saw it in the team newsletter, but when I clicked it to register, it linked to the intensity sign up sheet.
Okay. Well, you're on your phone, George. It's on the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's on the calendar, and then I have a QR code here for those that are on their computer, might want to scan with their phone. But Cynthia, do you want to take the mic and talk about these lovely classes you have put together?
I would love to. Yeah. And I'm so loving Leo season already, guys. It's amazing. So, agent efficiency, essentially what this is going to do is give you guys back more time. And what you do with that time is totally up to you. With my time I get back, I like to relax and enjoy life. But if you're someone that wants to just hustle, this is going to give you back hours in your week so that you can work harder and do more of that hustling. We're going to be going over some really high level stuff, like the Pomodoro method. We're going to be going over Asana quickly. But what this is meant to do is give you guys takeaways so that you can start implementing them in the classroom. So bring your laptops, bring an open mind, and really sit down and be focused when you get to these classes, because they are truly going to elevate the rest of your year like none other. So I'm stoked. Thank you guys for sharing the link. I appreciate it. I also have it on IG. So if you are late to get the link or whatever, just go to my bio and then it'll be linked on my link tree. And thank you for the support, Molly. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I like agent-led workshops and seminars. So yep, tap in. And again, if the link isn't working or something like that, hit myself up or Cynthia. We'll make sure that you get the Eventbrite link. All right. I'm sure you guys have heard Elias's summer intensity for the group. If you haven't signed up, I believe there is still time to do so. I think the cutoff is going to be this upcoming week. Kickoff is going to be August 9th. So again, QR code is up here on the board. It is also on the team calendar. So if you have not registered for it, again, no excuses, no bullshit, results only. Summer intensity led by the one and only Elias. Alrighty, moving right along, we have a special guest later in August on Thursday, the 22nd. It is on the calendar, but Jean Shrem, who's always giving to our team, dropping in nuggets, she is going to be a guest speaker on this particular training session. Karina, did you want to add anything?
I don't
specifically
have
to
a
what you-
whole lot more than just that she voluntarily offered to come talk to us about buyer representation training, which is amazing. So please be there, have questions. She's usually pretty quick paced. She usually lets me record sessions, so hopefully that'll be the same for this. Yeah, looking forward to it. Anytime that she comes, I'm such a fangirl. So love that Jean Shrem and all of her knowledge. Take advantage.
Awesome. Mark your calendars. All right. What else do we have? All righty. Branding workshop. We used to have branding workshops when we had our office in Concord. So this one's kind of been a long time coming. But if you're curious about it, you want to elevate your branding, if you have no idea where to start, tap in with Kenny and Elias at this workshop. It is going to be at the Hayward office on the 22nd from 11 to 1, where they're going to kind of just be covering a bunch of different elements, what goes into this. If you have not been to the Hayward office, it is super cute. So if you haven't been, I'd probably go kill two birds with one stone, see the office, and attend the branding workshop. There's so many different components when you're thinking about it. You know, agents reach out to me. Kenny sends me stuff for revisions. It's just a lot to think about. So I think if you have nowhere or don't have an idea of where to start, or are looking for feedback on what you are working on, this definitely would be a workshop to attend. I mean, the more knowledge you can take in, the better. But we have this on the calendar as well for 22nd. There's not an RSVP link yet. So we'll see what Kenny and Elias say. But for now, just mark your calendars. Hayward, August 22nd is where you want to be. Obviously, fast trends. We're always updating what's currently trending on social media or whatnot. So if you're looking to create content or create your reels and don't know where to start, this is always a good place to start to kind of give you some ideas, or possibly tap in and see what other agents are working on. So this slide speaks for itself. And then we come to the conclusion of our meeting. Is there anybody who joined later that had any community contributions you wanted to let people know? Did anybody have anything for the team? Karina, you got anything? Brian? Oh, I see your hand up.
Sorry, I had so much on my mind. I had to pick up my grandma. I could take her to San Francisco. So I did want to say something about the community contributions for the Sacramento office. I do have someone that came by this past weekend and we did some shoots in there. We had an event there, but She wanted to know if we can host up there next week on the 8th a financial lunch and learn with the private equity group. They have a bunch of stuff that they can pour into us about not only the investing part, but what also in particular helps us out with realtors. So if anybody in the Sacramento office wants to help with me, help with them coordinate, they'll definitely feed us, and they want to start making a partnership to where, you know, we can start doing a lot of more events up there in the SAC office. So anybody up there want to reach out to me and help me out, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Otis. Anybody else? Nope. All right. Well, I know you guys are busy just like me. I appreciate everybody attending. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Molly.
Bye. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye,
You're welcome.
guys.
Bye.